Here are the test scores for the guy you filled out the form for. He scored a B minus. This guy is a risky bet. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is not someone who will go far in his career, and honestly, he might not even talk big about it. He prefers sticking to what feels safe and familiar, and he rarely puts in the extra effort to stand out. So, if career growth is important to you, you should know that he's likely to stay in the same place for a long time.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he tends to withdraw instead of facing issues head on. Rather than bouncing back or trying to fix the problem, he's likely to pull away, keep quiet, or avoid the situation altogether. Most times, he will just do the minimum to get by and hope the problem goes away on its own.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work probably find him polite and easy to be around because he avoids arguments and doesn't pick fights. He quietly follows the rules, keeps to himself, and rarely creates drama. While he may not stand out or be the most popular, he's almost never the person causing trouble.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he is unlikely to feel threatened or show much jealousy. Instead, he'll quietly accept your success without making a big scene out of it. He is more likely to step back and let you shine rather than compete or argue about your achievements.
What if you start earning more than him?
He is not the type to secretly resent you or feel very insecure if you earn more than him. He keeps to himself and avoids conflicts, so he may not even bring up your higher income in conversations. You won't hear sharp comments or complaints, and he's more likely to quietly accept the situation.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He handles money quite carefully and prefers to stick to a fixed routine with his spending. He's not someone who wastes money on unnecessary things or takes risks with finances. However, he might also be a bit too cautious or slow to spend on treats or fun experiences.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He definitely lives within his means and doesn't pretend to be richer than he is. Flashy clothes, expensive gadgets, or showing off are simply not his style. He likes peace and security, and that means making sure his life is manageable and steady.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He tends to be quite tight with both money and his mindset. He's careful about spending and not the type to give freely or go out of his way to treat others. Don't expect a lot of warmth, open hearted giving, or spontaneous kindness.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is straightforward and does not play games with money. He doesn't hide things or try to control every rupee, but at the same time, he also won't talk about money in depth unless you ask him directly. You can expect him to be clear about what's coming in and going out with no big surprises or secrets.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is not likely to push all the housework onto you, but he probably won't take much initiative either. He prefers routines and order, so he likes things to be tidy. But he may quietly do his own small tasks rather than talk about sharing work equally. He's comfortable with a quiet, predictable split, even if that means sticking to his familiar chores.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is likely to help with chores and even basic things like changing diapers, but only if you clearly ask or show him what needs to be done. He won't hover or supervise you from a distance, nor will he jump in with lots of energy. He doesn't bring a lot of enthusiasm or new ideas, but he's steady and won't complain.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He doesn't argue just to prove he's right, and he isn't one for loud debates or power struggles. When you share your side, he tends to listen quietly, even if he doesn't say much in response. He values peace and would rather avoid conflict, so you're unlikely to get into big, draining arguments with him.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he usually stays respectful and doesn't say hurtful things or become aggressive. Instead of shouting or lashing out, he'll go quiet and keep his feelings inside, maybe withdrawing to another room or finding something routine to do. He doesn't like conflict, so he will avoid making a scene or using harsh words.
Does he have a bad temper?
No, he is not the type of man who gets angry very quickly. He has a calm nature and tends to keep his feelings to himself instead of letting them spill out in the open. This means you don't have to worry about sudden outbursts or fights at home.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He is usually willing to say sorry and accepts responsibility for his mistakes, though he might do it in a quiet, simple way rather than with big words or gestures. He doesn't like to blame others and he'll rarely point fingers or argue that it's all your fault. He believes in keeping the peace and prefers simple honesty over arguments.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
Yes, he will respect your boundaries and understands that no means no. He's not the type to push or pressure you for anything you're uncomfortable with. You can trust that he values peace and order and he prefers to avoid any friction.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
No, he isn't the kind of man who takes it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He tends to accept things quietly and won't sulk, argue, or make you feel guilty about your feelings. If you say no or need space, he respects that and doesn't push the issue.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He is not the type to bring up your vulnerabilities in anger or to embarrass you. Even if you have disagreements later, he is dependable and steady and will protect your dignity even during tough times.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is the faithful kind and not easily distracted by other women. He prefers stability and simple routines, and he doesn't chase after new excitement or attention outside the relationship. You can feel secure knowing he values loyalty and doesn't have wandering eyes.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he is not over possessive or the jealous type. He keeps to himself and trusts you to handle your own life. If you need freedom and space in a relationship, he allows it without fuss.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, with him, a protective nature is not a cover for being controlling. He doesn't use care or concern as a way to manage your choices or keep you in check. His actions come from a desire for calm and routine, not for controlling you.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He's likely to see parenting as something that needs routine and order, but may not actively treat it like a team effort unless you ask for his help directly. He will quietly handle responsibilities that fit into his habits, but he won't naturally step up or take the lead on new parenting challenges. Most times, he expects you to manage things unless you are clear about needing his support.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He doesn't believe in yelling or harsh punishments. Instead, he prefers to handle things quietly and keep the peace. If something goes wrong, he might step back and give everyone space instead of making a big scene.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
Yes, he will support your role as both a mother and your own person, though in a quiet and gentle way. He isn't likely to make demands or limit your choices, and he respects your space and independence. You won't find him interfering or making you feel guilty for having your own interests or career.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he is not the type to support your career now and then suddenly expect you to quit after having a child. He isn't controlling or pushy about how you live your life. He values order and peace more than laying down new rules or changing plans suddenly.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He will treat your parents with politeness and good manners, but don't expect much real warmth or emotional bonding from his side. He will be respectful and do what's expected, making sure there's no drama or disrespect in the relationship. However, he may keep conversations brief and avoid getting too involved or forming a close connection. He will quietly try to adjust to your family rather than expect them to change for him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly rather than make things worse. He won't start arguments or add fuel to the fire. Instead, he's likely to keep quiet, step back, or give everyone space until things settle down. Even if he feels uncomfortable, he avoids drama and keeps his opinions to himself.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He isn't likely to be very modern or very traditional. He mainly values keeping routines smooth and avoiding conflict. In front of his relatives, he won't push you aggressively to act like a perfect, supportive wife, but he may quietly hope you fit in and keep things peaceful by respecting family habits and traditions. He's not demanding or dramatic, so if you're polite and follow the basics, he will be satisfied.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension between you and his family, he's more likely to quietly stay out of it rather than take sides or get deeply involved. He doesn't enjoy conflict and usually avoids taking a strong stand unless absolutely necessary. He won't openly side against you, but he also may not stand up boldly for you in front of others.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He is not really a mummy's boy, but he's also not the type to firmly take sides in a conflict between you and his mother. He prefers to avoid open fights and keep everyone as comfortable as possible. He won't work against you, but don't expect him to strongly defend you unless you clearly tell him you need it.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
No, he is not the kind of man who will share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He values privacy and prefers to keep personal matters within your home. This shows that he respects your trust and wants to avoid outside interference.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all we know about him, this guy is a B minus. This guy is a risky bet from a relationship perspective. Being in a relationship with this man means living in a calm and predictable world. He keeps routines steady, avoids arguments, and rarely surprises you with big gestures, good or bad.